Hello, my name is Agatha, and this is the tarot reading for you for the month of April 2020. And so I'm going to pick 1, 2, or 3, okay? 1, 2, or 3 to find out how the month of April is going to be for you. Have you picked? So if you picked number 1, by the way, I'm using the Alchemical Renewed Tarot, the Chrysalis Tarot, the Tarot of the Rider-Waite, and the Oracle of Visions. And this is going to be a 3-card reading. This is beginning, middle, and end of the month of April 2020. You have the, how do you say this? The advice card. And so, like you know, hopefully, I hope you know by now, the readings for the month have changed. It's not going to be sign by sign. It's going to be like an interactive, a pick a card reading for you to find out how the whole month is going to be for you. So let's see. So for those who picked number 1, the cards that came out were, I like to use different decks because I like to know when the same cards showed up. It tells me that it's a really emphatic sort of energy. So you have that you really must pay attention to it. So those who picked number 1, you have the Fool, Major Arcana card. You have the 8 of Mirrors, which is the 8 of Cups in traditional decks. You have the 9 of Pentacles, or 9 of Coins. And you have this last card, which is the card of Advice. That speaks of memories, but you're gonna go to it at the end of it. So how will the month of April 2020 is going to be for you? So I would say, like in the beginning of the month, you are starting something new, okay? And you're really enthusiastic about it. And it's something maybe you've never tried before, okay? And the rabbit here, to me, tells me of fertility. So of possible fertility, of possible abundance, things might work out. But I'm looking, so might work out in a very, like, it might bring you money and happiness and success, all of it, whatever you're starting. But the thing that I also am looking at is that the rabbit is looking behind the Fool. The Fool is looking forward, but he is blindfolded, meaning he doesn't exactly know where he's going. And the rabbit is looking behind him, which tells me that part of you doesn't want to go forward to the future. Part of you wants to go to the past. Why? Because in the past, to me, again, rabbit is prosperity. There is some sort of abundance in prosperity in the past. But to me, it's like part of you is like that. But a big part of you really wants to start something new, whatever it is. It could be in your love life, even though I don't see this as love life. I see this as more like in your professional life. You want to start something new. Some of you also might be moving to another place, to another country, for instance. I'm going to read this as beginning, middle, and end, but I can also read it as like a full energy that might present itself throughout the month of April 2020. Then you have the 8 of Mirrors, which is the 8 of the 8 of Cups in traditional decks. The 8 of Cups in traditional decks is like walking away, leaving something behind, and advancing to a new life. Okay, so which is pretty much the theme of the Fool. So there's like this energy of walking away, leaving something behind, and starting a new life. Okay, there's some sort of transformation. Plus, I see the butterflies here. Do you see the butterflies? This speaks of transformation again. So there's this very strong energy that you're starting something new and you're leaving something behind. What are you leaving behind? It could be a marriage, if these things are not working out. It could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be also not necessarily something. It could be an old way of thinking. You used to think in a certain way. Now you're thinking in a new way. Now you're viewing things in a new way. This is leaving behind old values. Okay, things that used to matter to you, now they don't matter to you anymore. Something that you used to want. You used to want this thing and that thing. Now it doesn't matter to you anymore. It's interesting to me that in the beginning, the Fool usually represents someone young, immature sometimes. But the 8 of Mirrors is here, an old man here. An old man, yeah, someone older and wiser. So it's like to me, there's this understanding that whatever you want to start new, you understand, maybe in the middle of the month, but not necessarily, it could be at any time of the month, you understand that you have, in order to start this something new, you have to leave something behind. So otherwise, if you don't leave this something behind, or this way of thinking behind, this new thing that you want to start, you cannot achieve it because these old things are in your way. Then at the end of the month, or at any part of the month, you have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles speaks of success, speaks of, for instance, having a very good way. This card is successful self-employment. So you have your own job, you have your own business, and you're very good at it, and you make a lot of money, and you have time for yourself. So it's whatever this is that you're trying to start, you have to kind of adapt yourself and not use old techniques. And by using new techniques and leaving old techniques behind, you will be able to be successful in your endeavors. And again, I'm thinking money, professional areas, career-wise, it will work out in terms of money. So this could also, how do we say, this doesn't have to be beginning, middle, and end of the month. It could be throughout the month. So whatever you start is going to work out. So what is the advice for you, for those who picked number 1? You have this card, which is she's a performer, and she's a little, I don't know, ballet girl, and she's performing. And here she's like on the ground. This is number 42, and this is the Oracle Visions by Kiro Marchetti. I'm going to read from the little book because I like to give you all possible meanings. So this is number 42, and this speaks of ambition, goals, and inspiration. If you want to make your dreams come true, the first thing you have to do is to wake up. So this card speaks about setting a goal, a target, and striving for something, for a purpose. And the advice would be to really, set a goal, have a purpose, aim for something, okay? But at the same time, just really, how do I say this? This is about, part of it is about dreams, okay? So you really have to establish a goal that you can achieve, okay? Otherwise, if this goal is too difficult, then you might fall into doubt, you might fall into despair, because you keep questioning yourself. Am I good enough? Will I be able to do this? Okay? So you have to see what is achievable, what dreams are realistic, and what dreams are, like the book says, a distracting oasis that will never be reached. So you have to really sort out what you can achieve, okay? And then aim for it. So this is like the first option for April 2020. Now I'm gonna go for option number 2. Option number 2, how will the month of April 2020 is going to be for you? I'm using the Alchemical Tarot Renewed, the 4th edition, by Robert M. Place. The Chrysalis Tarot, the Tarot of Rider-Waite, and for the final card as the advice card, you have, it's one card from the Oracle of Visions by Kiro Marchetti. And for those who picked number 2, you have the Judgment card, Major Arcana card, the Watcher card, the Queen of Mirrors, which is the Queen of Cups in traditional decks, and the Queen of Cups again. Interesting. And this is the advice card, okay? This card, the last one, always, every time that I see this card, I always think of the sign of Sagittarius, always, because she's pointing at something, and Sagittarius usually points at something with the bow and arrow, even though there's no bow and arrow here, but I'm sorry, I always think of Sagittarius. So you might have something in Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So, as you know by now, I hope I have changed the way that I do this. So now it's not going to be sign by sign, it's going to be a reading for all signs, for all to the months, and then you pick 1, 2, or 3. So because you picked number 2, this is going to show you more or less how the month of April 2020 is going to be for you. And you have, interesting, in the first card, in the first option, the first card is a major arcana card. In the second option, the first card is also a major arcana card. You have Judgment. So this might be like beginning, middle, and end of the month, or this might be an energy that will present itself throughout the month. Okay, so the Judgment card, this speaks to me of some sort of renewal. There's like a big change in your life, a big change in your life. And you see here the angel, I think it's Gabriel, I'm not quite sure, and he's like waking up the dead, and you see here a man and a woman waking up from their tombs, I would say. Yeah. So yeah, and even the skull has some sort of growth in it. Okay, so this, interesting. Here, the astrological sign here, it's the south node. The south node. It speaks of the past. No, so this is the south node in April. Where is it? Now I have to look. April 2020, where it also, this card is connected with Pluto, by the way. So April 2020, I'm going to see here in American Ephemerits. April 2020, let's see, April, the south node. So the north node is still in Cancer. It's still in Cancer. However, in May, it's going to change to a Gemini. Okay, so the south node is still in Capricorn. In April 2020 is still in Capricorn. However, in May is going to change to Sagittarius. Okay, this is like a preview of some sort of change, I would say. There's some sort of preview. So and Pluto is at 24 degrees in April 2020, 24 degrees of Capricorn. So this is interesting. If you have something at around from 2 to 0 degrees of Capricorn, and also at 24 degrees of Capricorn, this might be especially relevant for you, for those who picked here number 2, because of this card. So there's some sort of change, a big change. This could be in the beginning of the month or throughout the month of April 2020. I don't know what it is, but there's some sort of renewal, rebirth, a new life. Now, what is a new life? This could be a marriage, this could be a divorce, this could be a new job, this could be being promoted, this could be being demoted, this could be being fired, this could be, retiring. This could be retiring. This actually could even be going to the court. There's something that you have to go to the court. It might be solved in April 2020. I really hope so, if that's the case. Anything connected with the court could be, divorce proceedings, but it could be any other type of thing. But this also doesn't have to be that. It's a renewal in your life, yes, but it's also the way you think. It's like, different values might be born. It's like now what is important to you is different. You have different values. Maybe you acknowledge that you have different values. This could also be waking up to a vocation, to your own destiny. You had a destiny, and now it's time to go and fulfill that destiny. Or you have some sort of vocation and you never paid attention to that vocation, and you have to pay attention to it now. And this could be, what type of vocation could be connected with your mystical side. Why? Because you have the Queen of Cups twice. And in the middle of the month, the middle and the end of the month, the Watcher is the Queen of Mirrors, which is the Queen of Cups. You have here the owl, I think it's the owl. And the owl is in the full moon. Yeah, it's full moon. This is a symbol of wisdom. So you're wise. You are a wise person, okay? And the Queen of Cups could be wise, empathic, mystic, extremely intuitive, loving, You have all of these qualities, but I'm thinking the qualities that are more emphatic, more relevant now are the qualities connected with your intuitive side, your psychic side, with your mystical side. There's like a very strong mystical side in you, beginning in middle and end of the month, or throughout the month, and you are really aware of that psychic sides, especially with the Judgment card. It's like time. It's time now. And by the way, the Queen might represent someone late 30s or after the age of 40. I'm thinking an older person, and you might be that older person. And this, and again, in the Queen of Cups might have represent someone from a water sign. Water sign. It's okay. Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So you might have something very strong in that. I said 0 degrees of Capricorn, between 2 and 0 degrees of Capricorn, you might have something. Or 24 degrees of Capricorn, again, you might have something. And something in Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And this is the time that you really acknowledge that you have these abilities, these gifts. And to me, they're never gifts. Honestly, I never see this as a gift. If you have intuitive abilities and psychic abilities, I'm sorry, I don't see it as a gift. That's my personal way of thinking. I see it as a curse because, I prefer to have walls, between the what we call the real life and the veil. I don't want to look behind the veil in a way that you cannot stop the veil. You cannot stop. I want to have walls around me. Honestly, I don't see being psychic as a gift. I see it as a curse. That's the way I think. But luckily, the Queen of Cups really represents someone who has that ability of he or she really sees things and feels things, which is really feels things, but has an ability to feel what other people feel, has an ability to put boundaries around her. So you might have that ability. If you do, wonderful. But now I'm seeing the Watcher, both the Watcher and the Queen of Cups, they're like looking at this side, looking towards the Judgment, meaning there's an awakening of something. And whatever is awakened, you already knew this. You already knew about this, okay? So the last card, you already knew about these gifts, this ability, this mystical side of you, okay? And you fully go into it. And this is connected, with the Pluto transit. I don't know what Pluto is doing to you in your chart, but it's like significant. The advice card. You see this girl, this woman, and she's pointing. I don't know. You might have Sagittarius also. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm going to read from the little book because I like to give all possible meanings. So you have here, it's number 52. And it's direction, purpose, objectives, and taking the first step. Okay? So purpose and direction, goals and plans for the future. So the advice is to, take the first step, have a purpose, have a plan. Okay? You should have something to aim for, something to achieve, something to look forward. Like take the first step, no matter how small it is. You can, read, learn, experience something new, set a new goals into a new journey. So you see, this woman, she's the Watcher, she's like walking with a cane, with a very big stick, and she's walking slowly. So in order for you to really go into your vocation, take the first step. Don't be afraid of it, and just do it by small steps. Slowly, do it slowly. You don't have to do it fast, but really have an objective. Just go towards this change slowly. Okay, I'm thinking this is like a very inner type of thing. This is inner. Also, if you have some sort of if this reading has nothing to do with mystical side, it might have to do with health type of thing. Again, change something in your life in order for you to have a better health. And this could be something small. Your diet, start walking every day, even if it's around the block, I don't know. Just do something small in order to really change your life. That's what I'm seeing. And if you have some sort of intuitive ability, if you never learned about it, start reading about it. Okay? So this is the reading that I have for you for number 2. I really hope you have a great month. Now I'm gonna go to number 3. Number 3. How is the month of April 2020 is going to be for you? I'm using the Alchemical Tarot Renewed, the 4th edition, the Chrysalis Tarot, the Tarot of Rider-Waite, and as an advice card, I'm using one card from the Oracle of Visions by Kiro Marchetti. So let's see, for those who picked number 3, how will the month of April 2020 is going to be for you. The first card is a Hermit, and all of you got Major Arcana cards in the first card. Interesting. The second card is the Séjourné, or the King of Mirrors, or the King of Cups in traditional decks. And the last card is the Three of Cups. And the advice card is this woman, number 32. And, you know, there's a diary. She's with her eyes closed. There's a doll here. So you're gonna look at the end what this means. So, this could be beginning, middle, and end of the month, or this could be an energy, I'm sorry, an energy that will be present in your life throughout the month of April 2020. So you have the Hermit card, which is a Major Arcana card. It's connected with the sign of Virgo. You might have something in Virgo. I'm sorry. Beginning, middle, and end. I'm sorry, Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I'm sorry. So you might be feeling alone, you know, maybe throughout the month or in the beginning of the month, you might be feeling alone. If this is not you feeling alone or you're feeling old, it could be that you want to be alone. You want to be by yourself. You don't want people to bother you. You want to, I don't know, spend time with yourself, read, learn something new, and just go in the direction of your spiritual growth, because that's what the Hermit does. The Hermit usually looks within. It never looks outside. He looks within to find out that which is true for him or her. Okay, so you might be doing this in the beginning of the month of April 2020. The Hermit also speaks of analyzing something, really digging deep, looking at something slowly, carefully, in a very cautious sort of way, analyzing all sorts of details. Now you could be doing this connected with yourself, connected with a relationship, connected with your professional life, and connected with a friendship, you know, connected with your goals, with the things that you want for yourself. Or you could be just reading about something. Also, you could be studying something, you know, you're studying. Why are you studying? I don't know, you're studying because maybe you need to study something new connected with your job, yes. Or you're studying something that has nothing to do with your job. It's something that you always wanted to study. Or you might be retiring, or you might be a retired person, you're an older person, and you decided to go back to school, you know, and you're studying something. So in the middle of the month you have the King of Mirrors, which is the King of Cups, who might represent someone late 30s after the age of 40, from a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And, you know, I'm seeing here this guy is going on a trip, so some of you might have something in you know, Cancer, Scorpio or Pisces, yes, and also Virgo. And you might be going on a trip. So maybe in the first part of the month of April 2020, you just analyzed places where you wanted to go to, I don't know, to go on vacation. It could be that. So you want to go to Greece, you want to go to Turkey, you want to go to Germany, you want to go to Canada, you want to go to Mexico. I don't know, you just researched it, you know, because the Hermit is researched. And you know, really researched the place where you wanted to go, and then in the middle of the month you are on that trip, and it's really fulfilling type of trip. You might be going on your own also, because I keep seeing, you know, figures alone. Also, the King of Mirrors or the King of Cups is a empathic, very well emotionally balanced sort of person. Someone who's a good friend, someone, this is in the most positive way, someone you really can count on, someone who's wise, someone who's really nice, someone who has deep emotion, deep feelings. So either you are this sort of person, or you might encounter this sort of person who gives you some sort of advice, but honestly I'm thinking that this is you. This is a very wise person, very well balanced person, very loving person. And you're alone. I don't know if you're single or something, and you might decide that, okay, it's time to, doesn't matter if it could be a man or a woman, is it time for you, you know, to not be single, to try and find someone to spend my time with? Maybe it's that, maybe that's that. So at the end of the month, or again, could be throughout the month, you have the Three of Cups, which is a card of being with your friends and really being happy and joyous, or being in a party. I'm thinking you're either gonna go to a party in the middle of the month, you know, or you might be meeting, this could be a reunion of old friends, and you thought about it in the beginning of the month. You might even set it up. Some of you might even, you know, set up like a reunion of old friends, old classmates, old colleagues. You're meeting someone, there's a group, people with whom you really get along, and you really enjoy being around these people. I don't know who these people are. This could be connected with work, old work. This could be connected with your childhood friends, even family, but I'm thinking it's more like friends, colleagues, and old classmates. And you're going on a trip to meet them, and you're really happy about it. And it's going to be a great reunion. It's going to be a great reunion. Others, it's like you don't want to be single anymore, so you researched it, and now you're going to go to a group setting, and you know, maybe come back with a new wife or husband. I don't know, it could be that. So the last card for you, for those who pick number 3, this is the advice card. And this is a lady, and she has her eyes closed. So number 32, I'm going to read from the little book, because I like to give all possible meanings. So this speaks of memories, lesson learned, choices made. Memory is the diary that we all carry about with us. This was told by Oscar Wilde. So, a woman closes her eyes and she contemplates treasured memories from the past. Okay, so part of the advice could be, you know, treasure the memories from the past. She releases to the world all details of her thoughts and feelings, successes and failures, good times and bad. The advice would be, I don't know, also learn from the past, the good and bad. Remembered moments fly about her. I'm thinking is, you're going to go to a group setting, and all of you are going to talk about the past. So don't be afraid to talk about the good and the bad, about the past, okay? This card captures tender moments and childhood joys. Yeah, the advice is, if there's like someone, you're alone, and someone invites you, go to this group reunion and remember the past. Don't be afraid to do that. Remember the past, because it's going to be great. Even the good and the bad, remember all of it. Others, it could be that you're actually writing about the past. And the advice is, write about the past. Write about everything, the good and the bad. Because you're, you know, will be aware of the lessons you learn, and at the same time, if you write about the past and if you publish this book, whatever, even in ebook format, in Amazon, Smashwords, whatever, these lessons will benefit others, okay? And you'll be happy if you share these lessons that you learn from throughout your life with others in a group setting. You might be reading from your book in a group setting. Okay? Could be that as well. I think this is very sweet sort of energy. I really do. So that's it. This is a reading for you, for those who pick number 3, and for all of you. And I really hope you do have a great month. Okay? Bye-bye.